नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे तमद्भुतं बालकमम्बुजेक्षणं चतुर्भुजं शङ्खगदाद्युदायुधं श्रीवत्सलक्ष्मं गलशोभिकौस्तुभं पीताम्बरं सान्द्रपयोधसौभगं यं प्रभुजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातर आहुजाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवो विनेदुः तं सर्वभूतं हृदि मुनिमानतोऽस्मि यस्वानुभावम् अखिलश्रुतिसारमेकम् अध्यात्मदीपम् अतिथितिशतां तमोन्दं संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यं तं व्यासूनम् उपयामि गुरुमुनीनां मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतरणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरम्. So happy to see all of you here once again. See your names, sorry. So a warm welcome to all the devotees online who are participating in this wonderful session, the Glories of Kartika Masa. So we'll continue with our last session. This is being a second session. So last we discussed a lot of important points regarding the Kartika festival from Hari Bhakti Vilasa. What is the greatness of this Kartik festival like that? So it's very important in our life. We have to see that as a devotees, in the whole year, we'll be waiting when this Kartika Mass will be coming, and when we'll all be singing this Namami Ishwaram Sachidandarupam. When this the whole offering, we offer the lamb to the Krishna, and by the time we relish that the whole month gets ended, and we feel very sad, and we feel that we are missing offering the lambs, things like that. So that we are missing Damodar Ashtaka, things like that. So the Krishna's pastimes are very wonderful. Krishna's sweet pastimes is really amazing. So especially in this pastime, as I was saying in the last session also, that this pastime, if you take any other pastime, there's only 1 day celebration. There's only 1 day celebration, but here today, for this pastime, there's whole month of celebration, the whole month of celebration. So we have to understand. So that also briefly we discussed in the previous session. So nevertheless, I just want to take it forward from that point. So here, what happened to Krishna? So he was generally for the children, the greatest pleasure lies in the children is to get the mother's attention. So Krishna also did in the same way. So he wanted to get his mother's attention. So what he did, so and on the other hand also, mothers also want to get the attention of the children. If the children are doing something wonderful, very special, that's what they also would want to talk with their relatives, friends, or post it on Instagram that my son, my child started speaking, things like that. So similarly here, Krishna wanted to get his mother's attention by doing something great so that she becomes very happy. Oh, my son is like this. So he decided. So the previous day, so that small child. So in the previous day, so what happened? This wonderful pastime. So where Yashoda, where Krishna eats this mud, and Balram and other friends of Krishna complains to Yashoda that Krishna has eaten the mud, and it's not good for health. And immediately Yashoda comes over there and wants to check his mouth whether. And Krishna says, "No, no, this Balram and other friends, they are telling lies. I've not eaten mud." No, no, then open your mouth. I want to see whether eaten or not. Then we can find out, brown particles or black particles of the sand or soil. So I can find out you're eaten or not. So so she was so worried, concerned about Krishna eating this mud. So what happened? We all know this. When Krishna opened his mouth, immediately Yashoda was able to see the whole creation in his mouth, and the reaction what he got from her was completely contrary to what he expected from her. So he expected that Krishna, the Yashoda, would be really happy, and that my son, can has such a wonderful magic in his mouth. But something contrary, it happened. So what he had expected was something different happened. So instead of the appreciation from the mother, about that whole amazing scene which she saw, so here what he was showing in his mouth, she was stunned. Actually, she was stunned, and she was not able to believe her own eyes that what was happening in his child's mouth. That she is able to see the whole Brahmanda, the whole earth, and a whole herself in his mouth. And Krishna was. As he was showing, it so happened the mother, she developed a sense of awe and reverence, and instead of love. So basically it backfired. So that whole plan of Krishna backfired Krishna. So instead of getting, showering of a lot of love and intimacy from his mother, intimate love from his mother, but the whole plan got backfired. So he was getting informal, or on the other hand, what happened? He started getting informal worship from Yashoda. Oh, my son is something. Even though this pastime that they says it was an act of the Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya had planned the pastime here. So she forgot. So Krishna made her forget this whole pastime after Yashoda saw what in all the whole plant system in Krishna's mouth. But something was still lingering in in her mind, and something she was unable to come out from that shock. So immediately Krishna, what he made, he withdrew from that whole vision, from the vision of this whole universal form from his mouth, and in order to make her again angry, so he wanted to replace something that again angers her, so that she would believe that this is not God, but is my ladla, my darling Krishna, my darling son. So in order to really make her understand that I am not that God you are looking. I am just your son. So even though Yogamaya's energy has completely washed off her memory, but still she had that feeling, that awe, reverence, and respect and worship, things like all those things. So Krishna wanted to again unwind the whole thing. So then, in order to completely undo the whole effect, so Krishna, he made a plan. So that plan is nothing but he enacted this whole Damodara pastime. So we have to understand this. Yashoda gets, so in this whole Damodara pastime, Yashoda gets a robe, and he wanted to convince her logically that her son, and that her son is nothing but is simple child, and she can bind him. And he wanted to convince her logically that she can bind him. So, and basically we have to understand that no, the God can't be bound by anyone. So he couldn't be possibly by God if he is being bounded. So how can anyone bind God? Is impossible, right? By any ordinary ropes. So he wanted to make her understand, convince her that I am just your son and you can bind me. This is not what it's all about. So that three reasons, last time briefly we discussed about that, basically the three reasons for this Damodara's pastime. So one reason our acharyas say is that the first reason is Krishna wanted to increase mother's Yashoda's fame. So Yashoda, Yashas, even Kirtida, I was saying Kirti means Kirtida was the mother of Radharani. So she bring Kirti to the daughter Radha, and here Yashoda, Yashas, he being Yashas or fame to Krishna. So her existence itself, just imagine the devotees as being devotees, mother existence itself to bring the glories and the yashas to Krishna. That is a great role she had taken as a motherhood. That is a great devotee, isn't it? So Krishna in turn he wanted to so ye tamam prapadyante tam satyam bhajamyam, as we see in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna wanted to if you do little, Krishna will give you 100 times. You take 2 steps for Krishna, Krishna will take 10 steps for you, 10 steps for you, and he will help you. So here Krishna is trying to show here that in turn, he wanted to bring you, oh mother, your name is Yashoda, gift Yashoda, just to bring fame for me. I will take a promise that I, in turn, I will bring fame for you. So this is a reason that most of our festivals we just follow or remember or practice or celebrate in one day. That's all. But here Damodarila is the only festival we celebrate for a whole month, a single pastime, and is entire month. So full month is dedicated for glorifying the mother's greatness. That she, even though being she had taken the role of a mother, still even in that name also she wanted to serve Krishna. So here Krishna also is saying you get little fame for Krishna, and in turn he will bring you lots of fame to you. That is one learning here. So what is the second reason? So second reason is very importantly you have to understand Krishna is enacting this whole Damodar Lila was to establish nothing but supremacy of bhakti. Bhakti is now see bhakti is a combined outcome of a sadhaka and also a Krishna's grace, as I said in the last week. So it is not a simple process in any spiritual process, spiritual sadhana, Ashtanga yoga, Dhyana yoga, Karma yoga, any other yoga process. It all depends upon one's effort, isn't it? Or one person's practice, Ashtanga, Dhyana yoga, and all those things. So generally it leads to being a sense of doership, ownership, or sense of ego or pride may come in any other forms of spiritual process. But this is the only process called as bhakti where there's no absolutely there's no scope of becoming pride or proud, becoming proud of oneself, one sadhana. So that is the wonderful reason here. So the this is the reason here, and we have to understand that this practice is what we have to understand that bhakti is such a wonderful process, and this in this way, Krishna is trying to show here that there is an effort also from the sadhaka. At the same time, there is a Krishna's grace in attaining success in the path of bhakti. So this is very important we have to understand here. So the third most crucial reason for this whole Damodar Lila pastime is basically the whole act is to show the power of devotees' words or compassionate words. So devotees' words here, devotees a devotee here is Krishna want to prove the Narada's words. Narada's words should come true, isn't it? So please understand. So words we have to understand in our generally words of ordinary people like us have the power to influence some ordinary minds. But the words of the extraordinary people like Narada have the power to influence even God's mind. Just imagine here. A month-long festival is celebrated. Is nothing but is to glorify these two great devotees, the Yashoda and Narada Muni. So devotees, one is what? One is she one like Yashoda, she wanted to control Krishna's divine body, and other devotee was to Krishna was controlled by. So the Narada was Narada controlled Krishna's mind. So Yashoda could tie Krishna, say Krishna's divine body, and here Narada could influence Krishna's mind. So this is the power of devotees' words and power of devotees' action. So we have to understand. So the power of our devotees is so much. Please understand that we are allowing ourselves to hear, to go to the devotee like Srila Prabhupada. I want to hear from Srila Prabhupada. What great influence you to, yeah, the parampara system. Srila Prabhupada was coming in the parampara of Narada Muni, who could influence. Narada Muni could influence Lord's mind. And we, by hearing the Guru's same parampara, Srila Prabhupada, definitely will also be influenced, isn't it? So I'll just wanted to pause here. There's some important, someone has calling me. Just a moment. Sorry for the interruption. Someone of you can be chanting Hare Krishna mantra.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Extremely sorry for the interruption. Someone had passed away. They wanted some mala. So this is we have to understand here where I was. Okay, so we have to understand this whole pastime of Damodar Lila very deeply. There is a lot of significance in each and every step of this Leela. Then only we can really relish the whole Leela. So Mother Yashoda had the choice of, so what everything she used to do, that she had lot of maidens, house maidens, because she was a queen of Vrindavan, and Mandavaraj was a king. So they had lot of servants all around them. But here Mother Yashoda had made a choice that, see, in anything in our life, either we can get the work done or we can do by ourselves. Generally, if you want to do something, cooking and all, what happens in house? A traditional people, even though they're very rich, they have so many servants, they keep them for washing clothes, washing house, washing things and things like that. But for cooking, mother only cooks. Generally, it happens. So when it comes here also, when it comes in the process of bhakti, the more important one is, yes, you do by yourself, but in bhakti, yes, you are doing. But more important than getting the things work done is the consciousness in which the things are done. So yes, I have, because why, the just like in the house, the mother wants to cook for it's my children, my husband. I have to cook. I have to get their love, attention, and the familyhood. Bonding will be very strong. So the consciousness is there. So similarly here also, Yashoda wanted to work by herself and make the sweets for Krishna by herself. Otherwise, she could have done. But no, she could have told the maid servants, and the whole Leela would have never happened. Why she has to churn the rod and make the butter, get the butter from the curds? She was a queen. Why she has to do such work? She could have dedicated, told this work to someone else, and this could have been done. So what we have to learn from Mother Yashoda is this one, that rather than getting done from someone else, but even though with a lot of struggle is there in this, she wanted to serve Krishna. That was a great quality of a devotee. So here, so on that day, so she wanted to make sweets from her own hands to Krishna. So she decided to make everything by herself, and she wanted that Krishna would enjoy those taste of sweets. Yeah, that is one thing. But very important thing is she wanted to taste the love in the sweets. So one thing is taste of the sweets. Obviously, it will be sweet. So, but what Mother Yashoda was looking here was, she had loaded a tons of her love in those sweet, and she wanted Krishna to enjoy that love, her love in those sweets, not the sweet as such. And Krishna also wanted to get that only. So Yashoda wanted to fill Krishna, and not just with some eatables, some sweets, but with her love. We have to understand this. So Krishna himself was longing so much to eat, not the food, but the love. Otherwise, why? Then her own mother, who had 9 lakh cows and so much butter, so much of curd, so much of everything was there. Why this boy has to go to someone else's house to break the pot and take the butter there when everything was available in his own house? Because every gopi wanted that Krishna would come to their house and do such work and eat their butter, just like Yashoda used to think. Otherwise, Yashoda could have asked this servants to get the butter done, just like nowadays our mothers. Anyway, our mothers are all good. Probably coming mothers, upcoming brother mothers are like that. Oh, wow, we will take all the headache to make butter for children. Amul butter is available, Nandini butter is available. Just purchase that and give to the children. Who will be? My mother, thanks to her, she used to make ghee. Most of you also might have experienced your mother. They used to make ghee in the house only or butter in the house only. Never they used to purchase. There's no question of purchase. Previous, isn't it? So Yashoda was not, she wanted to fill Krishna's stomach with her just eatables, but to fill Krishna's heart with her love. So because see the whole the cooking is how much we may do 2 hours, right? We may do just 2 hours cooking, 2 hours or 3 hours. It's a 2 or 3 hours affair. That's all. But rather than thinking that 2 or 3 hours affair, she was really thinking about how I can engage myself so that constantly I can remember Krishna in this 2 or 3 hours that I'll be making for Krishna. How all this intricacies of the taste, the delicacies, the nuances of the finer, subtle sense, subtle taste, all those things. So she wanted to also feed with the wonderful taste of the our food, and also more importantly her love. So Yashoda had put such an effort to make all the sweets by herself. She used to select the best of best ingredients, best of best things for the Krishna. For this, she used to have everything in her house, and that's how that there is the one of the acharyas, he mentions beautifully that Nanda Maharaj had 9 lakh cows, and among the 9 lakh cows there were especially 8 special cows. Okay. And Yashoda used to feed them Padmagandha grass. There's a grass. There's a lot of grass like Napier grass or some other grass. So many grasses are there. So that grass is so succulent, so juicy, but has also had a flavor of Padma. The Padma lotus has a very subtle fragrance in that. So that kind of special grass, she used to feed this 8 cows, was selected cows. So, and what she used to do from the all the 7 cows, she used to milk, and she used to make that 8th cow drink the milk of the 7 cows. Just imagine, among 9 lakh cows to select 8 cows is such a great thing. Among 8 cows, she's selecting only seven, one cow, best cow among the 8 cows. And she is milking this, and she is feeding this Padmagandha grass to all 8 of them. And along with that, what the milk coming from the 7 cows, she is also feeding the 8th cow. And the milk from the 8th cow was used to prepare sweets for Krishna. Such a thought process has gone, It's not an easy process. So bhakti is about enduring to please Krishna. See, just imagine this is pastime, simple pastime. Simple pastime, what we have to learn from here. Why we have to select. See, sorry, I'm going out of the way. There is even in the Quran, there is there's a chapter called as cow. I personally read that. So it says that God has told God from the sky, he will tell the Abraham there that I want, please sacrifice cow for me. And this man immediately looked at the sky and said that, oh my God, which cow you want? So there's a lot of cows there. And he gets again the voice from the sky that I want the cow which is brown color. And then again, Abraham said, "There's so many cows are there. Which cow, which brown color cow you want?" And like that, 2, 3 levels he goes. There it shows that God is not asking for your kill the cow and eat things like that. God is asking for that how much you are subservient, how much you are obedient to the God's will, that you just follow what He wants you to do. So here in Damodarila is a great, wonderful festival of celebrations of consciousness. You have to understand, it's a celebration of such a wonderful consciousness, that how Yashoda used to to serve Krishna. So what she used to do in Yashoda, she was engaged in cooking and churning the butter also on that day. And while she was doing that, she was also singing a lot of songs, glorifying Krishna. Hare Krishna. If you have seen this little Krishna, you can see that she is chanting Hare Krishna mantra, chanting some beautiful songs, glorifying Krishna's activities, things like that. And her goal was only what she was completely absorbed in the thought of Krishna all day. And whether Krishna was awake or whether Krishna was asleep, it doesn't matter. She used to always think about Krishna, sing his glories, and remember his activities in this way. And as she was doing kirtanam. She was singing, remembering Krishna, smaranam, kirtanam, smaranam, Vishnu, as she was doing. And at the same time, she was engaging herself in the activity of churning that churning that yogurt, that butter, for the butter. So here, Shavanam, Kirtanam, and also Sevanam is going. So everything is going. So her lips were singing and her mind was completely absorbed in remembering Krishna's pastime and his activities. Such a wonderful combination that she was engaged herself, her body, mind, and words, isn't it? It is not easy. It is not easy to engage the body in the service of Krishna, but it's very difficult. Even if we engage our body in the service of Krishna, somehow, once in a week or whenever we like to do. But to ensure that mind is also equally absorbed, mind is also equally engaged in the service of Krishna is too tough, too tough. Is even great sannyasis, great sannyasis also struggle to really achieve this. They may do external activities, but always to ensure that mind is always equally engaged in the thought and absorbed in equally thought of Krishna. That is very great difficulty. And here Mother Yashoda is trying to show that how she was completely engaged. She was just a cowherd woman in Vrindavan. She had not got any education from Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas, Itihasas. She was not a scholar to really think about how God is, how God should be. He is a Sakaravadi or Nirakaravadi, or how, whether he is Sachidananda Vigraha, what is his form, what is his quality, what is his nature. Nothing she know about this. But she was to always think about glories, his chanting, his names, and all those things. So even exalted sannyasis also struggle so hard. But here Mother Yashoda is showing very effortlessly that she is able to love Krishna through this. And Krishna came there, isn't it? So this is also a testimony. This is also uh, a reason for us, for our devotees to tell the world that, see, Krishna is not interested in your academic knowledge or your scholarship, but Krishna is interested in your love for him. So here we have to understand, when Yashoda was singing, she was completely meditating, and she was chanting the rod. So while that wonderful pastime is so beautifully is explained, some acharyas, they say that her earrings, her bangles, her anklets, everything was also joined into that musical the orchestra. So as she was singing, they were also engaged themselves to in a symphony, in a perfect symphony. So they also started making sounds so that this whole thing will be a great, beautiful symphony, give a beautiful orchestra. So that when she was doing this, she know that when she was doing that, Krishna has been left in the room, and he is in transcendental sleep, like yoga nidra. We call yoga nidra. So he was completely in yoga nidra. So why to make him wake up so early? That was a Diwali day. That was a Diwali day in the early morning. And now she has, if we once we wake up, she wakes up him. She has to give attention to him. And where else? But on the other hand, she has to prepare a lot of sweet meats and prepare for the whole celebration for Krishna to enjoy, and all those things. They was running in her mind. So Krishna was in Yoga Nidra. So here, because of her singing, So she was singing so much that her singing, her bhakti, the Acharya say that the sound of her love had penetrated through the shells of this universe. See, every universe, Brahmanda, he is covered by so many layers: earth, water, air, fire, ether, and each one is 10 times the thicker than the below one. So that huge is this whole Brahmanda. Just like this Vamana Dev, he pierced the universe, and from that the Karna ocean, the Karna river, from the spiritual world, it came that became Ganga, isn't it? So similarly, her voice, her sound, it penetrated through the universe, through the layers of this universe, and finally it dragged, it went inside the spiritual world, and finally it dragged Krishna. Then he heard this voice, and he dragged Krishna from the spiritual world, who was in the Yoga Nidra. He brought forcibly, Krishna was forcibly brought back to his bedroom in Vrindavan. So, and what happened? Krishna's sleep was broken. And Krishna got off his bed and started crawling towards his generally child. When we accept, he looks around. "Ah, where is my mother? Where is my mother? Where am I?" So when he got up and he saw, "Where is my mother? I want, very hungry." So he crawled down from the, I don't know how big, how the tall the bed was. So somehow he tried himself, and he crawled down from the bed, from the and started calling towards the kitchen. And as he was, because his mother is there, and he got to know the news sound, and which had penetrated through all the universe, went to the spiritual world. He brought back him again from the transcendental slumber to this material world, and then he got connected here. Oh, his mother, my mother is there. She was singing this melodious kirtan, and this is very much important. One learning is there here. It says that when a devotee sings Krishna's names or glorify Krishna, and the devotees, the power, the devotees' potency, the devotional potency is so much that it drags Krishna also towards them, to appear in front of them. And this is the one more reason here to show that, simply by doing kirtana, bhajana, by doing glorifying Krishna in this way, definitely we can drag Krishna, even if he's in Yoga Nidra or in some other planet. Definitely he will come and appear in front of you, of the devotee. So once Narada, it comes in Bhagavatam, Narada asks, "What is the permanent address of the Lord? Lord, my Lord, what is your permanent address here? You are in Dwarka, you are in Vrindavan, you are in so many places, Natadwar, and there, here, so many places. Where are you? Where is your permanent place?" The beautiful words what Krishna says, Naham tishtanti vaikunte yoginam idhridhayeshva yatra gayanti madbhaktaha tatra tishtanti naradaha. That's what he says. So beautifully, Krishna, he explains to Narada that Naham tishtanti vaikunte, I don't stay in the Vaikunta. Yogina hridayeshuva, not in the hearts of the yogis also. Yatra gayanti madbhaktaha, wherever my devotees glorify and chant my names. Tatra tishtanti narada, I reside there. So Krishna is giving his words here. What more you want in Bhagavatam? This sloka comes here. So don't worry about how many slokas you'll be remembering, how good the speaker you'll be to convince others or get conversant with the philosophy and all those things. Krishna is saying, those who simply chant my names, I'll be there, present there. So similarly, here Yashoda is singing Kirtan. Krishna, he came there crawling on his knees, and Yashoda was completely absorbed in the thought, in the singing, and she had completely lost herself. She had closed her eyes and just turning the rod. She had closed her eyes, singing, and completely she was become so unconscious about Krishna's presence was there right in front of him, right in front of her. So Krishna, what happened? He saw his mother is completely lost. And Krishna immediately he snatched the churning rod in one hand. And with the other hand, he held the sari of his mother. So here there is a message that Acharya say that this wonderful message they convey one beautiful message. What is the message? Krishna is trying to, he's saying that stop focusing on my activities. Connect to me and focus on me, and when I'm right there in front of you. So why I'm saying this, even though Yashoda was doing a transcendental activity, but Krishna is trying to show you, stop, focusing on my transcendental activities connected to me, but to focus on me. I'm right in front of you. There's also one beautiful message here. When you are chanting Hare Krishna mantra, you should not be thinking, oh, what Krishna and Radha are you doing now? Oh, what Krishna is eating now? What you remember those pastime, this pastime, so that we can come out from the sleep and all those things. So many things we think, isn't it? So here it is showing that when the holy name, what is that? Krishna's name and his himself are non-different. So abhinatvam nama namina ho. So there's no difference between Krishna and Krishna's names. When you're chanting the holy name of the Lord, we should focus on that activity and not just simply thinking about something else. Forget about material things. Our eyes goes there, mobile and things like that. Krishna is saying that you don't even think about my activities also. You focus on me, myself, the holy name. That's all. So here Krishna is again giving a deeper message for us to understand that he holds the churning rod. That acharyas they give this kind of interpretation where he holds a churning rod in one's hand. So what is this? He is trying to hold this the churning rod in one hand, and what is this whole pot is belonging to. So Acharya beautifully explains that this pot which contains this yogurt represents nothing but the Vedic text. There's the plethora of Vedic text. There's a galaxy of Vedic text. So many Vedic texts there, Puranas, Itihasas, Kavyas, Mahakavyas, and Upanishads. And so many things are there, 108 Upanishads. So many Puranas, 18 Puranas. And so Vedas, the Upavedas, then Agamas, so many things are there. So all the yogurt which is there, which represents all the Vedic texts. And the yogurt, which is, sorry, the pot is the text. And the yogurt which is there inside that represents the essence of the Vedic literature. It is, sorry, I'm really sorry, not essence. It is the ocean is the ocean of the Vedic literature. So one is the text, which is all this Agamas, Upanishads, everything, which is written form. That is a pot. And the yogurt which in that is the knowledge which is there in the yogurt. That is the meaning they say. And when you're churning that rod, when you're churning that rod, the rod is the intelligence. So rod is the intelligence which represents intelligence, and you're trying to churn the Vedic knowledge from the Vedic text. So during the process of the churning, there is when you are doing a lot of intense Vedic study and all those things. So what would come? What would come? The essence would come, isn't it? So here the essence is the yogurt essences from the yogurt. What comes? This butter comes. So here the butter represents what? Butter represents that it is Krishna himself. Isn't it very beautiful words? It's saying that what is the essence? So Krishna is trying to tell Mother Yashoda that I am the essence you are looking for. Why are you wasting your time in churning the Vedic literatures? When the result of your churning is there right in front of you, then why you are really continuing to churn this yogurt? So when you got end result is Krishna himself. What Krishna says, Vedesha sarver ahameva vedyaha vedanta krit veda eva chaham, veda vida eva chaham. So Krishna is saying that, Vedesha sarver ahameva vedyaha. The essence, you got the essence now. Why are you still churning here? So please understand the whole when this process was going, and so she was completely into the consciousness that she had got up early in the morning, and she wanted to prepare wonderful sweets for Krishna, and she had now she got the yogurt there, and she is trying to one side she had kept the milk to boil, so that she would make some sweet meats from that. Other thing, she wanted to get the butter from this thing. So much in activity she's doing here and there, everything. There's no question of some maids. Not that she called the maids early. Tomorrow is Diwali. All of the maids tomorrow, please come early. There's a lot of work. No, before the maid comes, she's doing all those things. So just imagine that Krishna was shaken by her love and devotion, that he was brought back from this Nyoka Nidra, and he crawled down to meet his mother. And then immediately, just what happened when she opened her eyes, she was so happy. Oh, you're come over here. How did you come? So here it says Krishna is known as a Atma Rama. Atma Rama Chamanayo Nirgantachurukrame. Atma Rama Ananda Rama. This one song. So Anandaramana. So here Atma Rama, Krishna is, please understand here. Yes, Krishna was hungry. So what? You have to understand from the scriptural point of view here. So what means that he rejoices himself? Atma Rama means he rejoices by himself. So he does not need anything externally. Whereas we, on a contrary, we depend on something external things. We depend on external things for our enjoyment, for our happiness and fulfillment. But Krishna is not like that. He's complete from himself. Purnasya Purnamada Purnameva Vashishyate. He's completely in all his needs. He doesn't need anything outside. So, so that concept we have to understand here. Otherwise, people will misunderstand. So once we are going in the train, so there were we had two devotees who were chanting, and one devotee was chanting in the japa bag. On the japa bag, there was a Krishna eating a butter. One small embroidery was there, and in front of us there were two Muslims who were sitting, and they wanted to sarcastically make some remarks. Wanted to make some remarks. So they said, "Oh, ये लोग बच्चे को भगवान मानते हैं." So he made a comment like that. So unless until we don't know the philosophy, the people speak like this. So we also wanted to make some sarcastic comments, and we told, ये लोग दीवार को भगवान मानते हैं. At least the bacha is okay. You will respond. दीवार क्या? दीवार means wall. So what wall will respond to you? Anyway, on a lighter note. So we understand here. We have to understand the whole philosophy here. So here Krishna noticing, so Yashoda noticing Krishna's desperation, that he wanted her milk and he was very hungry, and she did, Yashoda, she dropped the ropes of the churning rod, and she held the Krishna to her arms. And Krishna also immediately ran to Yashoda's arms, and so suddenly she picked him up. Suddenly she picked him up and cuddled him and kissed him, and she put her on her lap, and she gazing Krishna's beautiful eyes, and she allowed her breast to be sucked by Krishna, so to feed Krishna. So there is a motherly love. Immediately her love flowed so profusely. See Krishna, she was seeing Krishna's eyes to eyes. And both mother and son were transported into a different world altogether. And but see what happened in between this? There was a serious problem happened in the kitchen. So what happened when so we all know the story, but here what happened? So she had, from the eighth cow, that 9 lakh cows, and eighth cows, seven cows, and from seventh, eighth cow, the best cow, the milk is there, the best of the best milk, and the milk she had kept on the stove for the boiling. Here, the milk, the Acharya's beautiful interpretation to this, that milk on the stove was little panicking. What had panic attack. What is this happening here? Krishna is unlimited, and his desire for the love is also unlimited. And the Yashoda's ability to love Krishna is also unlimited. And her milk is also unlimited. And Krishna's ability to drink that milk is also unlimited. So Krishna is going to drink the mother's milk, and he'll be completely satisfied with this. And there'll be no scope for me, and there's no chance for me to serve Krishna in any way. That's what the milk was thinking. So milk thought in this way, and he thought that there's no hope for me, there's no scope for me, there's no chance for me to serve, because he will completely be fully satisfied with his mother's milk. And he figured out, finally the milk figured out, that let me give up my life. Let me end my life by falling into the fire. I'm so useless now and not able to serve Krishna in any way. So let me end my life. This is the worst, this worst life I have now. So he started, it was about to boil, and about to jump over. into the fire and end his existence, die there. And as he was about to jump over, just boiling, 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 and mother somehow she heard some sound, little sound she heard. And she immediately kept Krishna away from her lap and kept her on the floor. And she ran towards the kitchen just to save that wonderful the milk which was about to overflow and get spoiled. See, for her, feeding Krishna was the main service. And at the same time, serving the milk also was a service because that milk was meant for Krishna. But here, one beautiful learning is a devotee should have the intelligence to know which service to prioritize. At any given point of time, we have to really think about what service have to prioritize. There may amidst us, there will be a lot of other services which is openly available. The things which we have to please Krishna, yes. But right now, what I have to do is what you have to really think about. So here, so bereft of mother's love and mother's milk, he was hardly filled his stomach. And he was also very angry. Krishna was so despondent. And hardly he began, and there was abruptly mother put him down on the floor and she went away. And he was dissatisfied. He says of atripta. He was completely dissatisfied. We have to understand here, Krishna is not atripta. See, people think, oh, Rama was there. He was so much attached to wife. So he went all the way to Lanka to protect us. What kind of God is he? See, unless and we don't know the intricacies, the dharma concept there, we'll make such comments like some useless commenters in Karnataka like Bhagwan or something, useless fellows. They don't know how to really get into the details of this. So we have to understand here, Krishna was not hungry to eat, to drink the milk of Yashoda. Krishna was what? Krishna was completely, he was self-satisfied. Atma Rama, as I told before, is Atma Rama. And here also, he is not atrupta, he is not become dissatisfied that his mother he could not give milk. So, so Krishna is also known as in Vishnu Sahasrama is called as it is beautifully his name is called as what is Aptakama. He is not a atripta soul. It is a he is completely his self-satisfied. It is Aptakama. So we have to understand here, just even in Bhagavatam, we can see in the 12th canto that when Lord Narayana Rishi, they wanted to create some apsaras, they simply rub their hands and all the apsaras started coming up. So Krishna did not need any external help to satisfy his desire. So he has to simply think and he has to simply desire and things will be fulfilled. That is the greatness of God. So we have to think that we have to understand here that she had completely left him high and dry and in the middle of if in his loving relationship. So Krishna, you may ask, the Krishna is satisfied with little, right? Swalpamapasya dharmasya. Bhagavatam says, right? He's satisfied with a little thing also. Why Krishna should get angry with Yashoda? Anyway, she fed him something, right? Krishna should be happy with that. So Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita that for most of the things in the material world, he's happy. Krishna was pleased with the little thing. But when it comes to the devotee's love, he is never satisfied. That's what even in spiritual world, Krishna wants to engage the devotees there and his eternal service going on there. So when Mother Yashoda had left him in a rush, so he experienced what? He experienced utter helplessness that he had never experienced in his life. Because he was bereft of that love, devotee's love. So Aptakama is, yes, true. Aptakama is, he is self-satisfied, but is not satisfied with the devotee's love. There's only one thing he is hungry of. He wanting from us. He demands from us. So while mother, I will end in 1 minute. I think so. It is time up. So when Mother Yashoda was trying to save that boiling milk, so Krishna was boiling with anger. So see the irony here. So Krishna had left the Pal Padal, what is that ocean of milk. So Krishna had left the ocean of milk in the spiritual world to be with Mother Yashoda, and for what? To save you few liters of milk. That's what Krishna was angry about. Krishna had left the ocean of milk there, and I've come here to the experience my mother's love. But mother has left me and gone to save few liters of milk. Does she not understand the Sarvadharmam Parityajya Mamekam Shanvraja? Doesn't she understand? Why should no should she see this as such smaller duties? She should know. She should prioritize properly. The bigger duties, right here, she has to serve me. So here, that thought was running in him. That that Yashoda should have prioritized what to do now. So here she is trying to prioritize the pot of milk more than the Krishna, to satisfy Krishna. And Krishna gets angry, and he started biting his lips, and with his beautifully this with his dazzling the white teeth, started biting his lips, and there is a tears in his eyes, and with great anger, uncontrollable anger he had. His feeling of such a helplessness which he had, and he looked here and there, and somehow he wanted to vent out his anger, and he saw some stone was just there next to him, and he took that stone and aimed at the bottom of the pot of the yogurt, and he just threw the stone there, and immediately what happened? The pot broke, and all the yogurt started flowing off. So further, we will understand how what all happened. How Krishna, he started running away, what was in his mood, and how Yashoda trying to catch him, and what all things happen in between them. That you'll all have we'll discuss in our future sessions. Thank you all for your patience for hearing, and we'll be having shortly starting this the Damodar Aarti in the temple. You all can get connected. If you're online or if you're in temple, you can participate in the program. Thank you all so much for your patience. Thank you once again. Hare Krishna, Krishna
Thank you,
Krishna,
Prabhu.
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.